slithers into the jungle, call it python time. Bold constriction got them wrapped, they entwine. Educational bites, better sharpen your mind. Lens focus tight, capture moments in time. Scales gleaming in the light, stay exotic and rare from the...
Yeah, what it do? It's your boy Prince Elias for another Snake Prince Vlogs, and today is going to be a different type of episode. Tomorrow I will be picking up a package from a breeder friend of mine, and one goes with my breeding projects. I was actually able to sell a couple of snakes to get this snake, because I definitely did not have the funds, but it was also a good deal for this snake, so I'm pretty excited because it's a visual, whereas the rest of the animals I have in that project are hets, so it's good to move my project along further, so I'm pretty excited about that. But he also threw in another snake in the box that I am very excited about, but it just sparked a conversation because this won't be the first type of animal that I'm getting. I seem to have become the foster's home of disabled snakes, deformities, snakes with deformities, snakes with issues. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you are like, why? Why do you keep doing this to yourself? Why don't you just let them throw them in the freezer? Why don't you just let them euthanize the animal? And it's like, well, if the animal is showing that it's willing to thrive, as in it's acting normal like the rest of its siblings, it's eating without any issues, pooping, shedding, it acts like a normal snake despite its disabilities, why not give it a chance? Why not give it a forever home as a pet only? Not breeding. Why not give it a chance of life? Because by that logic that a lot of people have with animals, are you saying that humans with disabilities should be euthanized? Just think about that. Why is it that if a puppy was born with a deformity, whatever deformity, missing an eye, no eyes, cataracts, maybe a limp, but it acts and plays like a normal puppy. It eats, no issues. You don't have to, despite its physical ailments, its physical deformities of not developing right, but it still acts like a regular puppy. And you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on vet bills because other than the deformity, it acts like a regular puppy. Why not give it a chance to live? Why not give it a chance to thrive? Why not give it a home where it can be loved? And I know people don't like to compare mammals like dogs and cats to reptiles. They're all the same. Every creature, every animal is the same. I mean, I've even gotten to the point to my life to where I no longer kill spiders. I just scoop them up and take them back outside now, because I started becoming friends and talking with people who breed and keep spiders. And I've even met, my mentor, Nikki, her daughter breeds spiders. I got to photograph a spider, and to see that they actually have personalities, to see that these animals actually, show some level of intelligence. I've now gotten to the point to where I don't kill spiders anymore because I see that they are worth living. And they're perfect pest control because they kill all the other bugs that are very, very annoying. So when I see house spiders and wolf spiders in my house, I don't bother them because I'm like, yeah, you keeping the flies away. You keeping this away. You know what I'm saying? You keeping the black widows away. Because, certain spiders eat venomous spiders. But anywho, I digress. So I just wanted to talk about this in the video. And then tomorrow I will add the clip of me unboxing said baby with deformities. And I'll even show y'all the snake that doesn't have deformities that's in my paint project. I'll show that off too, because they're all coming from the same guy. But Elias, why do you adopt so many animals with deformities or issues? Speaking of which, I'm getting a baby boa. It was a runt in the litter, I guess, because it's live birth. A runt, and it was something that wasn't supposed to happen. Her story coming soon when I actually get her, but yeah, I just keep becoming the foster home of disabled kids. Now, this video isn't an advertisement, breeders. Don't call me, because I am running out of space. I'm capped out. Between the boa that I'm getting and this snake that I'm getting tomorrow, I am capped out of disabled animals. I'm no longer accepting. So this isn't an advertisement, breeders. Don't be calling me saying, oh, I got this deformed snake. You better find it a forever home, or you better keep it, but I can't do it. But why does Elias keep adopting disabled animals? One, I have a heart. I'm an empath. I really am. I was talking to my mother the other day, and I was like, why couldn't I be a sociopath like why, like you and my dad? And she laughed. She laughed because they both can turn. I mean, they get emotional. They get emotional, but they can turn it off. I can't. I have a soft heart. If I could, I would turn this land that my family live in and into a big sanctuary and adopt all the animals. You know what I'm saying? I just have a big heart. And when I hear breeders, now this breeder didn't say this. None of the breeders that I got disabled animals have ever said this. But when I hear other breeders, other people say, oh, we hatched out this snake with deformities and, we might have to euthanize it or whatever. I'm like, no, it breaks my heart. Now, like I said, every animal that I have in my collection with disabilities, none of those breeders ever said that. They don't believe in that. They just like me. If the animal is willing to thrive. Now, there are some exceptions, because some animals, they are born and you can tell that animal is suffering. You can tell that animal is struggling, having issues eating and things like that. Okay, then you might have to make that call. But if the animal, like I said earlier in this video, if the animal is showing that it acts normal despite its deformities, and it's eating, pooping, shedding, slithering, it is not bucking and jucking and catapulting, like it doesn't look like it's in pain and things like that. Like, I think that if they show that they want a chance to live, we should give them that chance to live, especially since we are playing God. And when I say we, I mean the breeders. If you're playing God, if you are trying to create life, then you should see it all the way through, in my opinion. And that's something I grapple with too, which is why I don't overproduce. I refuse to overproduce. I refuse to produce more than 3 to 5 clutches. This season, I've only tried to produce 2. My first season, I only tried to produce 1. I just refuse to go above the numbers that it takes me to care for every animal, because you have to be able to feed all these animals just in case they don't sell. You have to be able to care for these animals and give them a life worth living and give them proper care. So if we as breeders are going to play God and give life and repopulate this earth with multiple animals, we have to see it all the way through. That's just my values. That's my philosophy. That's my spirit. It's just how I feel. And I don't judge other people otherwise, because, circle of life. Some people got king snakes. Some people got venomous snakes like cobras. And so those animals have to eat. Some people got lizards that could eat snakes. So I get it. They might repurpose. But I can respect them repurposing the animal and giving it a reason, giving a life, giving them, the circle of life, continuing the circle of life, and giving a proper reason for euthanizing a disabled animal. However, for me, like I said, if the animal is showing you that it is trying to live, we should at least give them a chance. Now, it doesn't always happen. Some people will try to love, tender care for a disabled animal, and that animal still dies on them. But I at least respect them for trying. I give them the biggest props for trying. Y'all seen Quasi, the kink snake that got kinked all side of back. I will forever respect KG of Bond Projects because he gave her a chance. She was willing to live. She ate like the rest of her siblings, and she was the only one in the clutch that was messed up like that. Like, and the fact that when you put her down and she's crawling, she crawls just like the rest of the snakes. He gave her a chance. He offered her food. She ate it. She passed the food. She shed perfectly. At least for me, since I've had her, she shed perfectly. I haven't had to soak her or get stuck shed off her. And she's an adult now. She's an adult snake, and she's perfect for the purpose that I use these disabled animals, which is reason number 2 why I have so many disabled animals and why I constantly, up until this point, adopt disabled animals or deformed animals, is because I do educational shows. Creative Reptiles is our bread and butter, and our main business is photography, is entertainment, which is the photography and the music videos and the creative sides and stuff like that. But we also go to schools. We also do educational shows. We've done summer camps. We've done VBS. We've done where we go to different pockets, of places and show kids these reptiles. And a lot of schools and classrooms that I go into are kids with disabilities, are those special needs kids, those special education kids. And I feel like it is great to show them an animal who might have been born different from the rest, and they're still thriving, and they still surviving, they're still living, and they have a blessed, happy life, so that the kids can know, hey, if this happens to the wildlife, if this happens with nature, with animals, then I'm not weird. I'm not different. If that makes sense, I'm not something to be scared of. I'm not a creep or a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? Because, you got kids who are born with disabilities that they cannot control, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, all three, a combination of a couple of them. And it's good to show them. I've seen when I do these educational shows and I show them a snake like Quasi, or I show them a snake like Dolly or Piper who is missing an eye, and they see that this snake acts so chill, so wonderful, so cool as a normal snake despite its disabilities. Just to see the smile on their face, something that's so relatable, an animal that can be so relatable to these kids who also have disabilities. That's the biggest pride and joy I have with Creative Reptiles. And I don't post a lot about this stuff on social media. One, because of laws, privacy laws. You don't want to be posting kids from these different schools. Even if they gave consent, I don't feel right exploiting them like that. I feel like those educational shows are something that should be very private. Now, we do work around that to where we don't show the kids, but we show me in the rooms, in the buildings, teaching. So the eyes are on me and the snakes and not the children. But the reason why you don't see any social media posts or any vlogs or videos like that, except for the one video I did of the high school I went to, because it was just a regular high school. And we got consent from all the parents and the teachers. But it's because of that, because I feel like, we have to respect these children and respect these kids. But I feel like these kids also need something catered specifically for them. That's why when I do my educational shows and I give my packages out, I have a special needs option just to show them, and I can get down on their level and teach them on their level about these animals. And again, like I said, make them more relatable with these reptiles. So that's another reason why I adopt these animals with disabilities. One, I have a heart I love these animals. They mean so much to me. And if I could give them a forever home to live out the rest of their lives, so be it. And then also because they have been very, very positive with my educational shows, especially with children with disabilities. So with that being said, the next clip you see in this video is me unboxing. I'll be at work, so I'll have different clothes on than what I have right now. It'll be tomorrow, and you will see the animal that I got. And shout out to Azani, Darian, Azani Reptiles. He gave me this animal, and I was able to adopt her, and I'm happy that he gave me a chance to give her forever home. So check y'all in the next clip, which will be tomorrow, so I'll be wearing something different. Peace. This is the day 2 of the introductions unboxing, and today's gift, ambassador, and pickup for my special project. Both came safe, sound, healthy, and they are brought to you by my good buddy Darian Azani at Azani Reptiles. So I got some dope stickers. So since the topic of this whole video is why do I adopt disabled animals, disabled snakes, and in the intro I gave you all that. So let's show our new educational ambassador. And like I said, I've already unboxed or unbagged just to make sure they were good in shipping. And then I put them under my desk while I had to continue my work. And for those who know, don't be shocked by the genetics. She is not being used for breeding. I repeat, she is not being used for breeding. She is an educational ambassador because she was born deformed, defected. So this is Tink Tink. She, of course, y'all could tell she's a clown. Y'all know how I feel about clown genetics. But this is why I adopted her. She hatched out with her clutch mates, no eyes whatsoever. And as you can see, part of her face is a little, let me see if the camera could zoom in, a little bent. However, she eats fine. She eats fine. As you can see, she's moving around good, not wobbly. And, Darian offered her a meal. She took it. I'm going to let her be on the table so y'all can see. He offered her a meal. She took it. He offered her another meal. She took it. It passed, all that jazz. So she's not letting her disability or her deformity get her by. Now, most breeders would have saw her straight out the egg and euthanized her. But she's showing that she is worth living. She knew that she wanted to survive, and she is. So, yeah, you can see part of her face is, not only is she blind, but part of her face, if you see her mouth, her nose, right there, like a cleft lip, almost. So I named her Tink Tink, or Tinkerbell for short. So it's Tink Tink, and she is our new educational ambassador. She will be going to the educational shows after I get her well established in my collection. And she will be perfect to show children and just anybody in general about how amazing these snakes can be despite their disabilities. So, yep, that's our girl Tink Tink. Thank you, Darian, for giving her to me, for letting me adopt her. And she will live perfectly forever. Even though she can't see a thing, she will live perfectly forever in my house. Always have a home, always have food to eat. And yeah, and again, y'all know I don't like clown, and I said there'll be no clown in my collection. However, I make an exception for babies like this. I made an exception, and she's already proven to be a sweetheart. So let me put her back in the bag, and then we get home, I'll put her in a quarantine tub, and we'll offer her a meal in a couple of days. I think he said he fed both of these animals last week. I got to go back through the text messages and see exactly what date did he say he fed them last. But yeah, thank you, Darian. And so, yeah, when I saw her, I could not let her not have a forever home. And I'm definitely grateful that Darian wasn't one of those type of breeders that would have immediately like euthanized, no questions asked. Like, he gave her a chance. He offered her a meal, saw that she wanted to eat, and yeah, anyways, last thing, this pickup is not an ambassador. I mean, he can be in the future, but he is for a special project, a special recessive project, as well as Project Dark Mode and my Dinker projects, because everybody knows that if you want to prove out a Dinker, you got to work it in some recessives. Well, I am not working it in Clown. No, sorry, Bob. None of my Dinkers are going to be worked in Clown until I release them to a specific person or group of people. But in my collection, none of my Dinkers are going to be associated with Clown. I have the 3 Ps, Paint, Pod, and Puzzle. Those are my projects that I am passionate about. 3 Ps, passion. And so this mail is going to go perfectly for that, as well as other projects that I might, sell to the market in the future, other projects. So I already have some hits. I have three females and 1 male het. But when I saw this and I saw what Darian was selling him for, I could not let it pass me by on this opportunity. So I now have a visual male paint in my collection. The only male that's in my collection that's het paint is a banana named Loki, but I now have a visual paint. So this will help my projects, especially when I have to create my own hets in certain combos, like the LC project. I am definitely going to be working paint with LC Black Magic, and so I have to make my own hets, my own combinations, because it's not out there on the market. If KG or any of the other breeders who are working LC have it, if they have any paints in their projects, I'm sure there are holdbacks. You know what I'm saying? So I have to create my own. And so Rio Vidal, my LC pod, is definitely going to him. She's one of his many girlfriends, but this guy is named Basquiat. Basquiat, if you know, you know. Basquiat is a famous artist, Black artist, African American artist, who is very culturally relevant. His artwork, his painting, his graffiti, his everything, his fashion, he was a fashion icon, has been very prominent in the fashion world, the art world, and the Black community as well. So I named him Basquiat because painter, artist, you get what I'm saying? So this male, and he should be ready to breed next season. So when he is, because he's almost 400 grams at this point. So next year, next October, November-ish, when I start my parents, he would definitely be ready to go. And so I cannot wait. It's going to be super awesome to have him with several girls. Hopefully next year I could throw him to my Kazi project, my Dinker, at 2 as well, to see how paint will react with, the Dinker and things like that, and also to, start working recessives into that project, because right now the Kazi, at least the first generation that I'm working on this season, is going to be nothing but incomplete dominance. It won't be no recessives, so now we will have some recessives thrown in. And it's other projects, Project Dark Mode, other projects that he's going to be working on. He has at least 4 girlfriends that he'll be going to next season when he's ready, because those girls will be ready as well. So it's so awesome to now have a visual paint in my collection to go with the het females, as well as, like I said, some Dinkers. So This is Basquiat, and again, thank you, Darian. I'm so excited to have this opportunity. Thank you for the deal, the price, as well as, let me pay him off on a payment plan. But yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait. But anywho, let me get some pictures of him as well as some pictures of Tink Tink for social media, which I'll post later, probably leading up to this vlog. But that's it, y'all. This vlog is long enough. It's super long. I'm sorry, y'all. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank y'all for tapping in. And I am Prince Elias. This is Basquiat. And right next to me is Tink Tink. And we will check y'all in the next video. Peace.
Knowledge getting deeper just like aliens. Snap a pic, hit the click, ain't no need to be weird. Creative reptiles where the knowledge flows. Ball pythons in the cut, ready to pose. Boa constrictors lurking, everybody knows. Education.